The guests and discussions on this show are not endorsed by the show or show host. The content is provided for informational and educational purposes only. Nothing you hear is intended to substitute for medical advice, diagnosis, and/or treatment by a qualified health professional.
Welcome to Health Revolution with V, your integrative health adventure. Welcome to the Health Revolution with V show. I am so excited today because I have on with me someone who is going to talk with us about brain health, about reclaiming our brain health. It's very exciting to me to talk with her. When I first met her, I was super excited to get her on the show to share her valuable information with you. So the company is called iBrainTrain. And my special guest is Lori Ann Archer, and she is the founder of iBrainTrain. She founded in 2009. She is a licensed PACE and ILS provider. She holds a Florida State educator's license and endorsements in both reading and gifted education. So she kind of knows what she's talking about here. For the past 34 years, she has been dedicating herself to creating a positive change within the lives of her students as well as their families. Her ability to assess, plan, teach, and model, along with her vision of change, have undoubtedly raised the bar in the education field, as well as those she works with. Her greatest joy is spending time with her 3 sons. So without further ado, Lori Ann Archer, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Veronica. Thank you for having me.
It is such a pleasure to have you on the show. So first off, tell us a little bit about you. I mean, I know we went through your accolades and your accreditations, but tell us you, the person.
Oh, well. Well, about me, yes, my pride and joy are my 3 sons. I love my business. I love people. I love socializing. I like to garden. I read. I'm always looking for the last 30 years to better myself. And whether that be physically, emotionally, intellectually. So I'm always dabbling in some sort of book to learn more about myself and in those areas to take myself to greater heights, because that's what I do for others. So I start with myself.
And see, that's every great thing starts within us, right? So, and you can feel, I don't know about you guys, but I can feel her passion. I'm sure you can feel it as well. So let's talk about what brain training is. What does that mean?
Well, let me back up a little bit and go back to my profession as an educator.
Yeah.
As an educator, I've held hundreds and hundreds of parent-teacher conferences, and I have taught gifted education for many, many years. I have taught low functioning and middle of the road. But one thing that was in common when I would sit during these parent-teacher conferences is parents would want their low functioning students to at least raise the bar a bit for them, the average students to come up a little higher, and even your gifted students, parents would like to know more options that could have them excel even more. And at that time, 15 years ago, prior to brain training, the answer would be tutoring. We didn't really know much else other than maybe extracurricular programs, STEM programs that they could do to just enrich their education. And then one day, I lived in Parkland, Florida, and I was looking through a local magazine, Parklander, and there was an article in there. And it said, get to the root of the problem. Take those Band-Aids off. And when I saw that, my heart started to palpitate. I actually started breathing differently because this is who I am.
Yeah.
What can we do to actually remedy other than tutor and sustain? So when I saw that, I immediately took action. I met with that person who was running her business. And long story short, I said, I'm not going to work for her. I'm going to do this on my own. And now I am doing 15 years of brain training. So to answer your questions directly, what is it? It's a couple of different programs that I use, and we train cognition. What is that? It's the root of you, me, Jesse, everyone's functioning. And it's at the auditory and visual processing, memory, speed, logic, and reasoning. I even do focus and concentration, and I also do word attack and reading in case we need that. But keep in mind, this sounds like it's just for children, and it is not. and we'll discuss that a little later on.
Sure.
But because of my background, it actually became my niche because that is my field. And keep this in mind. Most parents, teachers, we learn about our students through the informative years, which is in elementary school. And when those red flags pop up, oh, we're not doing X, Y, Z, that's when we start to say, well, what's going on? And during the elementary school years, you may seek your medical doctor, a pediatrician, a neurologist, and you can walk out of that office with a diagnosis or diagnoses. But what do you do with that? Where's the remedy? And I used to be that teacher. Let's tutor. We'll work one-to-one. We'll give you modifications. And those are great when needed. I'm not saying don't do that. But now I have something to offer that just makes me shine and tickles me to be able to say to someone, I can help you.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter the diagnosis. I can help you because what's underlying our functioning is cognition.
And that makes perfect sense. I mean, how many times that, you know, your parents, you're out there trying to get your kids help and it's just a tutor, they're maybe making progress, they're maybe not. And why not get to that root? Why not get to the brain itself? And your work is very specific, tailored to the person, isn't it?
It's completely customized.
Right.
And let me just say that I do use different programs. However, everyone goes through the activities that we do, but my customization comes in through me. I know how to push and pull. I know where to hone in within my programs. And the programs that I use are those programs, but I also have a background in education. So I can see where they need to be at just about every age. I can fill those gaps on top of the training and raising the bar for them to get them to their peak performance.
And see, they're having that goes far beyond tutoring. So to the parents out there listening, right, perhaps tutoring may not be the solution. You need to look deeper, which is exactly what Lorianne is doing and getting to the root. But it's not just children. And we touched on that briefly, but let's talk about that some more. So what is the age groups that would benefit from this, and explain perhaps each level, what you think?
Well, my clientele just so happens to be at the moment from the age of 4 through adults. And as I said, because of my background, people are looking for an alternative to tutoring, and then they find me. And a lot of the times it's because there's some sort of a problem in school. But I have worked. This works with gifted students as well. Brain training can raise IQ. So I just had the pleasure of working with 2 adorable brothers, and they came in high functioning, but they left years above in cognition.
Wow.
So it works on anyone. And I have worked with TBI patients, stroke, and Alzheimer's patients.
Explain TBI so people know.
Traumatic brain injury.
Okay.
So people would think brain training is for that or for a real issue. But since we went this route, I'll share with you, I have just recently decided I'm going to be adding to my business because most people ask me, you should be doing this for seniors. You should be doing this in assisted living. So as of the new year, I will be pushing out, I have some time in the mornings, I will be pushing out looking for those that are my age, because I am now a senior. I got my first discount.
You are not a senior.
Yes, I am.
You are not.
I'm a young senior. Anyway, so I am going to be.
We're not letting her go there. No way. Okay.
I am now pushing that because what do we all have in common? We all are born and we all leave this world, but then something happens from the day that we're born. What happens to us? We all age. And as soon as you're in your 30s, maybe even younger, but we'll say 30s, we're on the decline. So if I could, and I'm all about getting to the root, sustaining, why not help the seniors and those that maybe not are too far gone with Alzheimer's to sustain them. And that gives the pleasure for me and for them and their families. So it's stimulating.
That would be huge. That would be so huge because the Alzheimer's and dementias are an astronomical number. and we're seeing it at younger ages as well. So with that, we do have to take a quick break for our wonderful commercial sponsors. Those are the ones that helped us to have this show. Do not go away, please, because Lori Ann has so much more to share with us, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Apex Electric is a family-owned and operated, licensed and insured electrical contractor with over 30 years of experience. No job is too big or too small. With free estimates and a 1-year warranty, Apex Electric is your premier contractor on the Treasure Coast. AAPEXelectricinc.com.
Dr. Shelley Anderson, with Terrapin Chiropractic, proudly serves the Treasure Coast of Florida with high-quality chiropractic care for all ages utilizing the Gonstead chiropractic technique. You can connect with Dr. Shelley at terrapinchiro.com. That's TERRAPIN Chiro.com.
At Your Body Bliss, our passion is creating handcrafted bath and body products for your entire family. From our hand-poured soaps and authentic Castile soap to incredible lotions and more, all made with ethically sourced quality ingredients. With love from our family to yours, yourbodybliss.com.
Have you been told that you need to cut way back on sugars due to a health condition? Do you find yourself struggling to give up the sugars even though you know your health depends upon it? If you answered yes, my online Hidden Sugars class is for you. Take charge of your health and visit eatingwithv.com and take the class. Welcome back to the Health Revolution with V show. I am here with Lori Ann Archer. So excited. She is with iBrainTrain, and we're talking about literally getting to the root of our brains and making them better. And she is an expert at that. Her website is iBrainTrain.com. That's iBrain, BRAIN, train, TRAIN.com. For those of you who want to watch the show instead of listening on the podcast, you can find it at eatingwithv.com. All of the shows are available there. So welcome back, Lori Ann Archer. And we want to talk more about BrainTrain. So iBrainTrain, your company. So tell us, how does iBrainTrain, how does brain training work?
So, of course, I use various programs, but the premise behind brain training is to train cognition. But how do you do that? When I ask you your name, what's your name?
Veronica.
She did not hesitate. She knew, she didn't sound it out and say, I think it begins with a V. That is what our brain needs to do with certain tasks. And most of us don't question that because they just happen. But when they don't, we say, what's going on? Why isn't my student, or why isn't this person? There's a disconnect somewhere. So we train with different tasks to become automatic. We want automaticity of thinking. When we do not have that, whether it be we want to build speed, we want to build memory in all areas of cognition, but when we don't have that, we say, why? Why is that? So I do tasks to create synapses of the brain, which are those little electrical firings. And most people, when they get mental pressure, we back off, we walk away, we shut down, and that's where I come in. We don't do that. I don't give any pillows, I don't give any blankets, although we do this with love. We are causing synapses of the brain so that neuroplasticity can occur.
Is that creating new pathways? And
yes, exactly.
Nice.
It's creating new pathways. So one of two things will happen because of what I am doing. That particular part of the brain will start working at a better rate, or because of neuroplasticity and the brain's brilliant way of doing things, it can reroute itself and make a new pathway that will suffice for a particular part of the brain. And I do a pre and post assessment. That's really the only hard data that I can give you to see the gains. And it will teach me also where I need to hone in more before they exit the program. But most of it is through observation. There's a newfound self-esteem and confidence. If we're going to speak about youngsters, we're measuring academically and socially. You will start seeing those areas come up as well.
Nice. So it's a measurable improvement. So she's taking statistics at the beginning, testing, going through part of the program, retesting,
Yes.
kind of reevaluating where they're at, and then taking them to completion.
Correct.
About how long is the program normally?
Average number is about 60 hours.
Okay.
I've had students exit at 47. I've had student exit at 100, but that depends on their needs. So if they need a reading program, for example, they generally fall in the higher numbers. But on average, I would wrap my head around 60 hours of intense brain workout.
Wow. And so you have programs then put together for people. You'll like tailor specifically to that person. This is what your program is going to look like to work with me. pretty much.
Correct. And it's one-to-one training. So it's a human to human, which makes greater impact than working on a computer, because there are brain-based programs via computer, which are great, but you will never get the results and the changes, not just in the brain, but behaviorally, and just to touch someone's arm or laugh and smile together and get to really form a nice relationship with them.
Right. That, and, you know, you can walk away from your computer, right? You said you're challenging people. So when you have a coach, and whether it's the brain training coach or your health coach or whatever kind of coach you're dealing with, you have that person that's going to bring it home for you. They're going to help you to achieve the goal you're trying to achieve. Whereas if they were just doing a program, you're just doing a program on the computer by yourself, you can shut that computer when you get fired up and walk away.
Correct.
Which they can't do when they have someone like you working with them personally.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And on another side note, I use a metronome. And everything we do to create that automaticity is on a beat. And that is where I also can regulate and control the responses. It's pretty fierce. Okay, ready, go. And you'll get a hesitation from most people initially. You'll also get irritation from that sound initially, and eventually it goes away. But that metronome and getting on that beat, whether I want it faster or slower, that's where I come in, and the customization. So I can raise speed, lower racy minds through that metronome, and of course the activities that I'm doing.
And who wouldn't want to get rid of that racy mind that you have going on? We all have that problem going on once in a while. So pretty much anybody who feels that maybe they're starting to slip a little bit, or children or elderly, like you're hitting the whole gamut and the spectrum. Anybody that just feels like they want to exercise their brain more and become more present and have a stronger mind, right? Would that be a good client for you?
Absolutely. And it's a little competition for yourself. If you like competition and you like to see yourself rise, you will love this. So this summer, I mean, I do work during the summer, but I do get a lot of students to raise the bar this way, because during the school year, it can be a lot for them. But I am planning to add a crash course for those that want to come back and just refresh their training. And for adults, if you'd like a crash course, we can condense it and really hit you hard to raise that bar.
Awesome. Awesome. So not only can you work with her, but you can also come back for some refreshment too, refreshing of the brain. So speaking of which, don't go away. We have to refresh for our commercial and we'll be back in just a moment. Don't go away.
Awakened Mind, powered by BrainTap, is the ultimate relaxation and focus solution. BrainTap helps reduce stress, improve focus, and enhance relaxation effortlessly. Enjoy better sleep and overall well-being. Try BrainTap today at tribelifecoach.com.
Are you looking for an action-packed adventure? We have unforgettable birthday parties, events, and more. Bring your family, bring your friends, and join us at Port St. Lucie's only paintball park. Call 772-812-0000 or visit invinciblespaintball.com.
Interstate Express Incorporated is your local and statewide 24/7 courier service. Woman-owned and veteran-friendly, serving the entire state of Florida since 1990. We pick up and deliver anything from an envelope to a 5,000-pound load. Give us a call, 772-287-2137. Interstate Express.
Is your insurance company telling you that you have to replace your roof? Nice Roofing is a family and veteran-owned and operated local business. Choose peace of mind and quality work with this Owens Corning Platinum Certified contractor. Join thousands of satisfied customers. Visit niceroofing.com. Welcome back to the Health Revolution with V Show. We're here with Lori Ann Archer of iBrainTrain, and that is iBrainTrain.com. The letter I, brain, like your brain, B-R-A-I-N, train, Train.com. You can find out more about her and you can connect with her there. So welcome back, Lori Ann.
Nice to be here.
All of this great information so far. Tell me, folks, that she hasn't been amazing with all this information, but we do have more. So let's talk more about why you do Brain Train.
I love what I do. It was a godsend. It really was. I know that I was led to do this because of just how I think. And as I mentioned earlier, all of the parent-teacher conferences that I held, I am the type of person that likes to solve and help and serve. And to say to them, all I know is tutoring, one-to-one, let's give modifications, let's get a plan in action. That was the best that we could do. And I'd have tears in front of me. We'd all cry. Parents were desperate. And now I love being able to say, I can help you. I can give you hope. That's what I do. So that, I mean, I'm able to feel fantastic because of that. I can change lives. I have.
I see it all over you, girl.
Yeah,
like, she's like vibrating this passion as she's sitting here. It's the most amazing. That is the best. I know that's how I feel when I'm helping a client like get away from sugar or, start to feel healthier in their body. And the brain and the body are one. There is no getting around that. Like your body could be healthy and your brain is not. So what Lori Ann is doing is helping to have that healthier brain.
And to that point, we have a vagus nerve, which goes from the brainstem to our gut. So if our gut is not healthy, the neurotransmitters cannot be sent up efficiently, nor will they act accordingly. So cleaning your gut will fire things up in such a direct and fantastic way. So that is the relationship. And I do work that. One of the programs I work activates the vagus nerve. So not only are we training the brain, but we are working the emotional aspects of each one of us. And who doesn't have a dysregulated system? We use the word trauma. Mm-hmm. My trauma might be different than yours, and we have extreme cases, but trauma is trauma and how it affects our central nervous system.
Well, they can also have positive trauma. People who have been over-supported, and you see that. You can see it in their life.
Yes.
They're not capable of handling situations. They can't do things on their own because they've been over-supported their whole life, and that affects the brain.
You are so right, and that's becoming a little more common today. Mm-hmm. Aside from the fact of things that you and I did naturally as a kid, just the being creative, exploring outside. And with the things that we did, a lot of my clients come in lacking. And I said, if they only did X, Y, and Z, this would not be, not always needed, but not to the extremes that we're seeing it today. And it's not just technology that I'm referring to. It's conversations. It's
medications. I mean, my God, they're medicating kids from the time that they're children. I mean, just allow children to be children. Instead, they're diagnosing and medicating children. So, and what's that effect, right? We don't even know when you're medicating children at a young age, what is their effect going to be down the road on the brain?
Right. And when you have to put your child or someone on ADD medication and you're warned to have their heart checked, that's alarming. So yes, what we do is natural, it's homeopathic. And I do believe in medication when it's necessary.
Only when it's necessary. We need the medical system for some things, for sure. As much as I can't stand to have to say it, we have run out of time because we have so much great information that you shared with us. So thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me. It was fantastic.
Tell me, folks, this wasn't fabulous. So don't forget iBrainTrain.com. That's iBrainTrain.com. I am Veronica Kalbat with Eating with V. You can find the shows at eatingwithv.com. And we'll look forward to seeing you on the next episode of Health Revolution with V.